Welcome to the final regular season blame game for the Spring Split 2017. If you thought the LCS was saving the best for last, you're wrong. There was an insane amount of movement possible in the standings heading into the final days, but pretty much everyone ended up where we thought they would. We'll start with one of the most important series from this weekend in Dignitas vs Immortals. The winner of this made the playoffs, so it's no surprise to see Immortals' most volatile player in Dardoch picking up a lot of blame once his team lost. Relative to what we expect out of him though, was this actually a really bad performance? Game 1 starts off really strong for Immortals, where bot lane and Pobelter combined for 2 kills on their own. Dardoch heads down there soon after, hoping to make the back-breaking play that blows the game completely open. The bot wave has pushed back onto Immortal's side where it is frozen, and Dig's bot lane can't walk up. Dardoch gets the flash, but the entire squad of Immortals goes way too hard here and end up turning some kills back over. Dardoch's the only one who dies here, and he's probably down to go ham, but it does feel a little unfair to put the blame on him when it was Ole who started off the overextension with the aggressive flash forward. For the rest of the game, it's some pretty standard Dardoch stuff. There's some great plays, and then there are some horrible plays. The problem is that it wasn't a big carry performance like we've been seeing out of Dardoch recently. A lot of us were saying that in order for Immortals to beat Dignitas, we would need to see him outperform his counterpart in Chaser. That wasn't the case, and despite some good mid-game shot calling, the game went late enough that Dig's better comp and late-game play secured them the victory. For Game 2, it was mostly the same story, where Dardoch had some good plays and some that he really shouldn't have gone for. The difference is Immortals got way further ahead this game than in Game 1, and even though Dardoch wasn't playing teamfights particularly well, he wasn't throwing them either. The big reason Immortals lost was this teamfight, where Cody's son gets caught out at the very beginning and goes down, and then Pobelter, the most fed member of Immortals who was playing extremely well, whiffs his ultimate and loses the fight. Off the back of this fight and some risky shot calling, Dignitas grab Elder Dragon and Baron buff to claw themselves back into this game. This one's razor close to me and can really go either way. On the one hand, we said Dardoch needed to outperform Chaser and he didn't have one of his usual carry performances, but on the other hand, Immortals should have been able to win some of these games for how far ahead they were, and the throws were not Dardoch's fault really. In the end, I'm going to have to say no, because it really did just feel like Chaser showing that he has resurged back into the second half of the season, and Dignitas were the better team. We'll end things in the most fitting way possible, talking about Team Liquid. They lost a close series to FlyQuest, which dropped them into the promotion tournament. Piglet's play has been seeing a lot of criticism for a while now, and in particular his Taliyah play. Let's start off with a sentiment that Piglet is worse for the team mid than Golden Glue was. If you look at the laning stats, they're both the bottom 2 in the league, including subs. Piglet also died a ton in lane, and while it looked awful, I think a lot of people are forgetting what some of the early skirmishes with Golden Glue looked like. That said, Piglet has substantially higher DPM as he performs better in team fights. The funny thing is, it feels like Team Liquid is finally playing the style that they seem to have wanted all split long. They have an aggressive bot lane that can generate their own advantages, a smart jungler who can play around those, you have a stable top laner, and then a slightly losing mid. Slightly losing might be a little bit of an understatement though. Jumping into his actual Taliyah play, there are a lot of criticisms I find myself agreeing with. Taliyah has a ton of burst damage available in her kit, and it sometimes baits players into thinking too much about the 1v1 solo kills. Piglet flashed after Bjergsen aggressively multiple times, hoping to finish him off in a solo kill, instead of taking those small advantages and doing what Taliyah does best, roaming. Piglet didn't get a single ult roam off in the first 15 minutes of any game he played Taliyah in, and was often using them defensively in lane as he was getting ganked and killed. The few times he tried proactive roams, his ult was on cooldown. Then there's the infamous Realm Warp. Now, to be fair, a lot of things went wrong in this play prior to Piglet's involvement in it. First off, Team Liquid has not properly secured Baron vision, so all of their baits were useless. Because the baits aren't working, we see Lorlo rotate up to the mid lane to try and flank on Shen. Now, this is not the ideal way to use him, though it can sometimes work, but he gets caught out of position and collapsed on by FlyQuest. The idea of Realm Warping in to help Shen is fine, it's the execution where there's a problem. Piglet could have put the portal a little bit further back, but Reignover needed to not position at the very front of it, so he ends up right next to Shen when he arrives. This leads to an easy Gragas ultimate knocking him into the team in an insta-kill, and from there Team Liquid lose the fight. This particular play feels like an error out of almost the entire team, not just Piglet. Anyway, there's a ton of stuff to nitpick in Piglet's play if you feel so inclined to, which I don't. I'll just say that I think the blame is accurate. The High Five Comment of the Week award is brought to you by my patrons Luke Lim, Mac Noller, and Paul Davidson. The high five goes to Lol Coley, though I admit this one might be a little bit misguided because I don't know if they actually made this picture. It's also extra morbidly funny in the context that Team Liquid is still going into the promotion tournament. That's it for the final blame game of the regular season. The promotion tournament's happening tomorrow, and there are some pretty crazy storylines going on there, like having Phoenix, Loco, and Mad Life potentially relegating Piglet and Team Liquid, so be sure to tune in. The quality of games should actually be decent as well, and I'll be casting them, so I'll see you guys there tomorrow. I'm making a second YouTube channel for all the stupid videos Zell and I are making. I'll put the link in the description below, and if you currently hold me in high regard, do not watch them because it will ruin your opinion of me.